Hello, coworkers. It's Bridgette, and welcome back to the Employee Lounge podcast. Hi, coworkers. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in and listening to the Employee Lounge podcast. Happy March. I can't believe it. It's March. Wow, right? The year's just flying by, right? Oh my goodness. So as you all know, around this time, gearing up to it last year, it's where everything all started and everything just started to become chaotic and very crazy. So I just really want to say to those that are still not doing so well or are still going through the trenches, I am thinking about you. I am praying for you. I really hope that you see the light at the end of the tunnel. I will always say that because there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I really hope you're staying strong and staying positive to see that light. So keep going. Okay. Also, if you just need that extra help, it's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it. If you need more information, I always have some resources in the description. If you want to check it out, please do so. I always say, if you need help, get help. Please. Also, go to your HR department and get information about the EAP, Employee Assistance Program. It has a lot of information, a lot of resources. Just ask about it, inquire, and that's it. Please, just get the help that you deserve. Okay? Alrighty. And also, happy Women's History Month. Yes, happy Women's History Month. It is a great month to acknowledge all of the women that were brave and strong enough to really pave the way for the women today. Very brave women that really took risks to get to their goals in life and to really make a difference. And we really have to pay a tribute to them because they deserve it. So please give it up to them. Thank you to all of the strong women that really helped history and really help today's society. So to all the strong women, this is for you. Okay, so today's topic is a topic that everybody don't really like, but we have to talk about it, right? It's going to be about change or changes, but especially in the workplace. So let's just take a quick little break and we'll get right back to discuss change or changes in the workplace. Be right back. Okay. The word change, right? It's scary. It's scary, but it's not supposed to be. But, a lot of people think it is. So what is the definition of change? So I looked it up and I will read it to you. Okay, there's two definitions. So The first one is make someone or something different, alter or modify. Okay. The second definition, replace something with something else, especially something out of the same kind that is newer or better. Substitute one thing for another. Okay, so the second one is a little bit harsher, right? Replace newer and better. Not so much, but it happens. It happens, okay? I wouldn't say the person is newer or better, but in the workplace, that can happen, right? So a change can occur in the workplace by someone or just in the organization itself. So what do I mean when I say by someone? Well, for example, there could be a new employee that got the job. They went through all the steps. Right? They interviewed, passed all the rounds of the interviews, received the hire letter, passed the background check, passed the drug test, and that's it. Got the offer letter, that's it. But that person is replacing someone that's probably been there for 30 years, 35 years, a year, 2 years, 6 months. I don't know. But they're replacing someone. And, with that, a lot of people are not going to be happy about that. And when I mean a lot of people, I mean like people that are already working there, that are they're already used to the person that's leaving, right? They already established a bond. They established a friendship. We'll say friendship, maybe a work friendship. But they already got accustomed to the person. They already got a routine down with the person. Like, that's it. They don't want change. They don't like change. They just want the person to stay forever. But the person got to go. The person probably retired or got a new job in another state or in another country. Go back to school to do something else. I don't know. The person has options and decided, okay, I need to move on. So here comes the new hire. Here comes the new person replacing this person that's leaving. And the new hire don't have a clue what's going on, right? The person is just, the new hire is just trying to understand everything, writing down notes, trying to get accustomed and acquainted with everyone and trying to do their job. But here comes that change that people don't like, right? And how do people react to it? Do they adapt to it? I'm going to have to take a little guess and say no. The people don't really take it well. And that's my question. Why is that? Right? Like, this person is trying, the new hire is trying to get acquainted, trying to understand things, trying to do the job. Why is this new hire having a hard time? Because other people don't like change. Okay? Why is people not adapting to this change that happened? It's not the new hire's fault that the person got the job. It's not their fault. They came in, the interview went well, great, and got the job. What's the problem here? What is literally the problem here? Okay. Do you have the answer? Because I sure don't. But it's happening. Okay. It's really happening today. And I'm going to be honest. I did it. I went through it. That has happened to me. And I'm sure it's happened to you. And you're just wondering, what did I do to these people or this person that's giving a hard time because I replaced someone that they were very close to or they had a work friendship with? Like, you start to kind of like think about it on your own. Like, what's happening here? Okay. Like, I know it may sound weird, but it does happen. So why are people so scared of change? Why? In the workplace. Why are people scared? It's bound to happen. We can't run away from it. It's going to happen. It can happen in the next day that you walked into the job. Like, it can happen the moment you sit at your office, right? Like, a change can happen any minute. So why are we not being flexible? The key interview keyword, flexible to change. Because it was definitely a question in the interview, right? It was definitely a question. I'm sure it goes along the line of, how do you adapt to change, or how are you with change in an organization? Somewhere along that line, right? So what was your answer? I'm sure you didn't say, no, I don't like change. No, I don't adapt to change. You probably said, oh yeah, I'm open to change. I'm flexible to change. I'm okay with change. But when the change happens, you're a completely different person. Okay? Think about it, because it's hard when you're a part of the change, okay? For this example, the change was the individual, obviously. A new person is replacing someone else. And it's already hard for that person. That person has to learn everything. That person has to learn names. That person has to learn the environment. That person has to learn the actual job, okay? And you don't know that person's life. You don't. Okay, that person have bills to pay, student loans. Okay, can we just take a moment? Student loans. Okay, bills. A family. You don't know what's going on with that person. So why give them a hard time because they're the new person? Because they're part of the change. Why? I'm still baffled about that. And I kind of just wanted to just think about that for a moment, because it does happen. And I think we need to really reflect about that and really think about that, because we don't have to give people a hard time for something that is out of their control. You know what I mean? Like, it's out of their control. Okay. I know you had the bond. I know you definitely wish the person stayed, but the change happened. The change is here. It's something that we can't control. So why give a hard time? Instead, let's work with each other. Let's help one another. Let's build each other up, encourage positiveness, positivity, everything. Let's really get down and make this work easier for us, because this could be very hard work that we both need to pay attention to all the details, and we both need to work with one another, because we're co-workers or partners in this, and you can't do it by yourself. We can't do it by ourselves. We need one another. So think about that. Is change good for you? Are you going to adapt to change or changes? And if you're not going to adapt, why? Why? Like, I mean, I respect all of the people, the generation that really paved the way for the up and coming generations now. Okay? They created all of the processes and all of the work that the new generation and the upcoming generations have to learn. Okay, but there may be changes that have to happen with these processes because, you know, things happen. Things happen. We have to come up with new ways to get better. Not saying the old way was wrong. Not saying the old way is not the way to go, but you know, it's the old way, but with a twist. You know, it just needs to happen, and I get it. Change is scary. Changes are scary. I get it. Been there, done that, but you can't fault the new person or you can't fault the changes that are happening because you're so against it. It's really crazy, the mindset of some people because they just want everything to stay the same, but it doesn't happen that way. Maybe in your perfect world it does. Maybe you have a routine that you just do not want to get rid of. And I get it, but you're going to have to do something different, right? You're going to get tired of that routine. And change is okay. You know, I'm not saying to automatically change right there on the spot, but baby steps, right? Baby steps. Work your way up to it. Okay, and in this case, okay, the person's new. Okay. Oh, hi. You know, introduce yourself. Hi. This is where you do this. This is where you do that. You have a question? Sure, I'll answer. Like the little things. Oh, you're doing that wrong. Let me help you. You're like, you know, like courtesy. Just the little things make it so much better. Instead of being mean, being unkind, withholding information. I'm telling you, it happens. You may like think this doesn't. It happens. Withholding information, secrets, not helping. How does that benefit one another? How does that benefit? How do you feel that you're doing that? I'm sure you're like, whatever. I can still sleep at night, but you're being mean. And that's okay to you? Come on. It's time to be nice. Nice people, kind people. Mature adults, okay? You don't have to play that game. You don't. So in this scenario, you know, if you are against change, you don't want someone to leave and you want this person to stay. But this person obviously can't because there's a better opportunity. Okay, that's fine. Wish them well. Get their contact information. Call them. Keep up with them. But this new person have a story too, right? This new person needs to work too. Okay? Just be nice and kind. I'm not saying you have to be best friends because in a perfect world, that's not going to happen, but just be kind. Be nice. That's all. You're going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Trust me. Okay? So I'm going to take just another little short break, and I will be right back, and we'll talk more about change in the workplace. Okay, and we are back. Welcome back. Okay, so with that scenario, there was a new person that came in, part of the change, I get it. Okay, but there's also a different scenario where there are changes, or there could be a change in the actual business, the actual workplace. And people don't like that either. And my experience, I was a part of that too. I was a part of that receiving end. When you're in HR, you will be part of that receiving end. So, I mean, things can happen with the business. The business can merge with another business, or another business can have an acquisition and take over the business that you're at. Like there are many things, okay? Or the business, God forbid, can get out of business. There are just many changes to happen to a business. So, and again, people don't like change. So what do? They complain. And who's the receiving end of it? The HR department, or the supervisors, or the CEO. Everyone's hearing it, right? So with my experience, that did happen. I worked at a company, and there was an acquisition. Another company took over the company I was working at, and man, all of those employees were not happy about it. They were not happy, and they were scared, rightfully so, especially if you worked at a place for so long, and then here comes another company just taking it over. You're like, wait a minute, this is my livelihood. What's happening? What's going on? Someone help. And you start to panic. I would panic too. Did I actually panic? Maybe a little bit. I was trying to really embrace the positive side, because I was like, okay, well, at least we all still have our jobs, right? That's the worst part, but we still had our jobs. We're just with another company, a new company that we probably haven't heard of, but they will be our new company, so we got to learn it about them, right? And that's what we did. We did take baby steps with it. We did take baby steps because it was very new, and we had to learn a lot of things, and it was a very quick takeover. Like, it was months. Like, they had a deadline of, I would say, probably 2 months. I don't know if that was the fastest. I'm sure there were companies out there that had like faster takeovers, but yeah, 2 months. Oh my goodness. To learn everything and to implement so many policies, implement so many new things, learn so many new softwares. Like, that's nuts, right? But that happened. And we had to have many meetings, many town hall meetings with the staff, because they were just asking all the questions. There were rumors like, oh my gosh, is this company still going to be in business? What about my retirement? What about my benefits? Like, it was a lot. And I understood, because of, again, people are depending on their jobs to make a living. So when you hear about a new company taking over, you're just like, wait a minute, should I already start looking for another job, or is my job safe? So many thoughts. So that's what we did. We had to really calm down a lot of people, but they were still not happy with it. They weren't. They loved their original company. They didn't want a new company taking over. They just like, no, we don't want them. But it happens. It happens. And let me tell you, the changes happened very quickly. There were new logos, new everything, and we can't run away from it. We can't run away from it. It was very hectic because you have to make sure everything was in place before this deadline, and it was very hectic. But we did it. And, people started to come around. They did. But then also people were still saying no. And they were like, So they decided to resign. And, hey, if you got to do that, then do that. If you got to do what's best for you. I always say, do what is best for you, because you're the only one living your life. So if you're not happy with the change, do what's best for you. Or if you're not happy with how things are going, instead of complaining, find solutions to it, right? What's the solution to the problem? Okay, I don't like this change. I propose this. Hopefully someone will listen to you, because there's a lot of what I say go around in the corporate world. So I hope something positive happens for you, because it's corporate world. Okay. It's do what I say or find another job. Corporate world. So yeah, change happens. People don't like it, but you either learn to like it or find something similar that you'll love, because the changes are still going to happen, whether we like it or not. Okay, coworkers, going to have another break, and I'll be right back. Okay, coworkers, thank you for tuning in. We're going to wrap it up here. Thanks for tuning in. I just want to say, look, I know everyone is not a big fan of change. I know everyone is just against it. Some will embrace the change. Some will not. But I just hope you be mindful of how you're reacting to the change. Be mindful of that, okay? Because you're not the only one affected. There are other people affected, right? And in that previous scenario about the new hire, that new hire was affected, right? That new hire replaced someone that, all the old coworkers loved. And then in the business scenario, yeah, changes happened. Change happened in the business scenario, but what are you going to do? You're going to keep complaining, make it a negative environment for other people? No. Those people have to work too. They have families, they have bills. So they're trying to adapt and accept it. So I'm just saying to be very mindful of how you're reacting to the change, okay? You can be negative or you can be positive, or you could be the one to provide solutions, okay, to changes, because there could be loopholes. There could be many solutions to the change that happened. So give it a shot. Okay, coworkers. Well, that is all the time I have for you. I'm really, really happy that you tuned in. Again, all the resources will be in the description. Please check them out if you need help. Again, please visit your EAP or go to HR and inquire about the EAP. Maybe there's a center all about resources for employees. So maybe you can visit them and get more information if your job has that. But also just take it easy. Take care of yourself. It's a new month for new opportunities. And, just do what makes you happy, right? And also, I do have an Instagram, so please check that out. The Instagram account is at Employee Lounge Podcast. And I also have an email address if you want to email. It is askemployeeloungepod@gmail.com. If you have a story or if you have some type of something you just want to talk about, or if you need advice, again, I am not an attorney, but I can just give you my advice. Take it how you will. But thank you again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope you all take care of yourself. Stay safe. It has definitely been a year, and March was something else last year. But this March, we're stronger, and we'll get through this. Bye, coworkers. It's been fun. Okay. Take care. Bye.